All right, happy Saturday morning, everybody. Just hopping on real quick. We didn't do a daily broadcast last night. It was right in the middle of the game. I thought maybe doing a little round ball rewind, but I figured it's Friday night. You guys are busy, so I thought I'd hop on here today, throw out a few thoughts on Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, maybe recap a little bit of Tech basketball. Hopefully, football guy is simmering down just a little bit after they beat Syracuse last night after losing to St. Joe's on Thursday. So let's get your thoughts and predictions ready to go. Let's have some fun. We're not going to hang out too long. We got a lot of stuff to do before the game. In three, in two. Well, good morning, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan at TheRaiderland.com, where you start your day every day. We've got cool, fresh, hot links for you every morning. We got questions of the day. You go there. The daily broadcast every night, just like what you're doing right here at 6:30. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitter X, or whether you're on our YouTube channel, subscribe to all the platforms. Don't cost nothing. Watch where you want. All right? So do what you got to do. We're coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. Trust me, at a certain point, there will be Arctic air in West Texas. We've had like this much of a freeze. When the Arctic air arrives, you need to call the Bear. Right now, for less than $100, they can give you a good old well check on that heater. You'd rather spend just a little bit right now than a lot later on. And all communication brought to you by United Supermarkets, Market Street. I'll be heading that way probably here in just a little bit when I make my way into town for a few minutes and pick up a few things for the game. So let's get it going today. I'll give you my thoughts, predictions on Tech football, what I think is going to happen. You give me your score predictions. We'll knock it out. Alan, the first one in off our YouTube channel, the burgeoning, growing YouTube channel. And please give us thumbs up and share and like that, because my wife appreciates it. It makes her feel good that I'm not a lawyer some days. I'm in early enough that I'll get the best takes. The most logical, still right-minded takes, you might say. Damon, hello on Twitter X, indeed, and he jumps. How can he do it? He's amazing. He's on Twitter. He's on YouTube. Where will he be next? The talking box is indeed on. Alan with our first score prediction: Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, 31-27. Oklahoma State in the Dust Bowl, the game that so many people have tried to come up with some sort of name for. It's just Tech and Oklahoma State. And all it is. It's just Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. If you are just wandering in, yeah, it is a rare preview show. I feel bad we didn't do a show last night. And there will be Raiderland Rewind post-game this evening. Don't worry, we'll still come at you live, just like we're doing right now, recap the game together, get your thoughts on all that on Raiderland Rewind this evening. So a double shot of Raiderland for you today. Alan, can we call the game the Dust Bowl, the battle at the Xerox Corral? It's just that's a little wordy. The game hasn't earned, even though they've played a lot, 50 times, about half the time Tech's been playing football over the 100 years, they've ended up playing Oklahoma State in some form or fashion, but it has not earned the right to have a name yet. Could be the Streak Bowl because Tech had a long streak and they've had a long streak, and it's a very streaky series. But that takes us to a level that we don't want to get to. All right, so Texas Tech this afternoon, 2:30. Texas Tech's better than Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's a bad football team. Texas Tech should beat Oklahoma State. They're favored by 4.5. This thing has toggled around all week since an early release on Circa at Tech minus 6.5. I think they knew that was going to get gobbled up, and I have my theories on that, but that's okay. And then hung around 3.5 all week this morning. Consensus is 4.5, probably where it goes off. And that's fair value. I think Texas Tech is a touchdown better, neutral field or otherwise, against Oklahoma State. Texas Tech should win this game. Texas Tech needs to win this game. If you are who you say you are, you should win this game. Toughest working team, hardest working team, all that good stuff. Most competitive, all that. You should win this game. Oklahoma State's beat down. You got to finish them off. Senior day, you can't let them breathe. Of course, I said a whole lot of the same things. I said a whole lot of the same things when Tech played Baylor in Lubbock, and Tech laid a big fat egg. So which one's going to show up? Texas Tech is better on the offensive defensive lines. They should have a physical advantage in a Big 12 game today against Oklahoma State. It should show. Baron Morton should have plenty of time to do whatever he wants, which is sometimes dangerous. They should be able to involve any level of the passing game they want to. They should be able to involve play action. They should be able to take deep shots. They should be able to score against Oklahoma State. Flip it around the other way. Texas Tech should control the offensive line with their defensive front against Oklahoma State, dictate terms. Will they do it? Trace, my man, channel a little Daryl Waltrip today. Let's go racing, boys. Damon, the battle of the original and the copycats. 45-20 Texas Tech, the pick. Oklahoma State defense is bad. Tech 35-24 says CJ. Alan, call it the Dust Bowl. Winner gets the rights to decide what farm subsidies get cut. There you go. Tech's a better team. If you are improving in year 3, and you're all the things you say you are, you have to win this game on the road. You have to go to Oklahoma State and look like the better program, look like the better team. I believe they are. I believe they will. Texas Tech 31-23 over Oklahoma State. I think this will be a day that the defense looks good. It's bad team, but looks good. I think this is a game that Texas Tech will control. Might trail early. Who knows? Might be close in the first quarter or something, kind of going back and forth a little bit. 10-7, 7 something. I don't know. But I don't feel like at any point Texas Tech won't be in control of this football game. I'll be shocked if they aren't. And if they don't win, and if they don't look like a better program than Oklahoma State, we will have discussions tonight around 6 o'clock on Raiderland Rewind. So get ready for that. You guys get your questions in, your comments, and your thoughts. I'm calling it 31-23 Texas Tech. And then we'll see what happens next week against West Virginia. We also have some basketball to look at if you want to. I warned you guys on Thursday night before Tech and St. Joe's that Tech hadn't played anybody with a pulse. Don't freak out if Tech doesn't look great. In fact, don't freak out if they lose. That St. Joe's is, a pretty decent team. They're not separated by you that much in a lot of the, metric rankings. Now, I think Texas Tech is better. They showed that after getting down 16, coming back, tying it, losing on a jumper in the lane that rimmed out. But, of course, there were people freaking out. And I knew it was going to happen. I knew football guy shows up for baseball, hardo, and he shows up also for basketball. But I knew it was going to happen, particularly with this game, because most of the people that were wailing the loudest probably hadn't watched Tech at all. They hadn't seen them play at all. They hadn't seen JT Toppin yet. They hadn't seen how this team works together. And then the first thing they see is they get down 16. St. Joe's, well, they can't be very good. Yeah, they're actually a pretty good basketball team. I don't know if they'll make the tournament. Doesn't matter. Last night, a much better representation. We thought that would happen. And it's funny because Syracuse is not as good as St. Joe's. And one would say, well, obviously, you beat them. Now, they're not as good as St. Joe's. You controlled that game. The score, it was really a 10-point game. It ended up being, 79-74, 42 free throws or fouls or whatever in the second half after they had none in the first. Thank you for officiating. That's what people tune in for. They officiated the hell out of that game in the second half. It's like, well, we certainly don't want the Texas game to start on time, do we? So it muddled it up, particularly in the final, I think, 5 minutes of the game. That was a 10-point win I'm going to file that away as a 10-point win for Tech. I know it doesn't show that on the record. I get that. But that was a 10-point win. Football guy was mad Tech lost to pay his school. That's funny. Is that St. Joe's Jesuit? I can't remember which brand they are. And I'm going to say it one more time. Let me see if I can call up real quick. I thought I had the box score handy. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. The 3 turnovers by Tech for the night is just incredible, amazing, and I don't think I've ever even heard of that. You had 2 right off the bat, and then you have 3 turnovers for the game. JT Toppin didn't have his greatest night shooting-wise, but he still impacts the game. After 18 rebounds, he had 6 the next day and still scratches out 15 points for you. Darian Williams is a man playing amongst boys. He's really good. But I'm telling you, JT Toppin, he asserted himself there in New York City. He will help Tech get publicity throughout the season by the way he played. McMillan also, Hawkins double digits yesterday. Hawkins on the night with the 6 assists and 1 turnover, 6-to-1 turnover ratio. Is that good? Is that good? That seems good. Hawkins is the best point guard Tech's had in a while and just seems really well set for what McCasland seems to want to do with this offense. Now, I'm going to say it again. It's early in the season, but the three-point shooting was abysmal against St. Joe's, and that was part of the problem. You didn't make, and you kept taking them, and you didn't D up on the three on the perimeter real well, and St. Joe's hit them, and that was a lot of the discrepancy. Some people will point to the free throw line. You don't get to the free throw line when you're jacking up threes. North-south offense, much better than east-west offense. The basket's over there. Like I say in football, the fish are farther out. Attack downfield. Throw the ball over 10, 15 yards. It helps. The basket's down that way. Run towards the basket. Run towards it. So I like where this team is. It's right on schedule. Alan saying Kerwin Walton body issue. I didn't pick up on a whole lot of that. We'll see. I don't know. He may be trying to find his way, obviously, right now within this new structure of team. We'll see. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it never happens. It's way too early for me to look at a player and just say, it's not going to happen for him this year. And sometimes guys have a reason to have bad body language. They are frustrated. It's okay. So we'll see what Tech next real team will be. DePaul coming up on the 4th. So you got to wait a little bit before they play somebody good. So hopefully that helps some Texas Tech basketball fans kind of chill out a little bit, relax, and go, okay, hey, this team actually is really pretty good in a league that's really pretty good. All right, a few more minutes. I just want to jump on since we didn't have anything last night. Your thoughts on basketball, fire away, thanks to United Supermarkets, which, hey, if you're tailgating at the house today, having a little party, getting ready for Thanksgiving, head on out. Head on out to Market Street. Tell them we said, hey. I give you my 31-23 Tech prediction for football this afternoon. We'll see. It's an important game because they're playing it. It's an important game because you need to show some separation right now that your program is better than Oklahoma State's program. Bottom line. Damon, football guy, is saying, it's basketball season? Soccer just ended. I could be basketball. Football guy the other night, after the St. Joe's game, was like, when does baseball start? And they're the first ones who the first weekend, Tech will go like 3-1 and lose to somebody. They'll go, yeah, this team's, they just don't have it. They're just not going to make it. Tadlock has lost his touch. Al and I have scheduling issues with Tech basketball. That's the only issues I have so far. And I'm with you, and we've talked about it at length. This team now has to schedule better in the non-conference earlier. I understood it the last couple of years. New coaches coming in always want to pack wins. Then I understand with McCasland a little bit with the huge roster turnover, and this is in all of college basketball. You don't know for sure what you got. You're a little afraid to overschedule. You play in a really tough league that if you're good, you're going to get in the tournament no matter what because you're going to have to prove it in the league. I get it a little bit. It's got to improve just incrementally. It's got to be a little bit better. Part of the problem, nobody wants to come to Lubbock. Good teams don't want to do a home and home. They'll play Tech neutral site, but they don't want to have anything to do with coming to Lubbock. Tech's going to have to figure something out on that. Tyler going with OSU. We got two people going with Oklahoma State, 45-34 on that one. My son and his girlfriend are going to the game in Stillwater. Hideaway Pizza. Hideaway Pizza, Eskimo Joe's. Hideaway Pizza, Eskimo Joe's. Even the arrangement of the schedule. Play DePaul or A&M in week 1. Again, could you get them? Does anybody want to roll out and play that level unless they're in one of the major classics? The tip-off opening day classic. A lot of teams just don't want to do that. They're doing the same thing Tech's doing. Tippy-toeing into that water. Is the water warm? We'll get on in a little bit. See, I don't mind opening up, first game or something against, no pulse. Second game, but it's got to get a little bit better earlier. And overall, so, what do you got coming up? What is that? Northern Colorado? Yeah. Northern Colorado? Come on. All right, last chance. I'm going to go about another 2 minutes. I told you it was going to be quick. We will be back with you tonight. for Raiderland Rewind about 30 minutes after the game ends. Why do we not go right when it ends? I do like to try to hear on the radio network Joey McGuire's interview just to see if there's anything pertinent from that we need to discuss together. And sometimes that, a lot of times, that has to do with something that maybe is more of a negative than a positive. So I hope that the game is so positive, there's nothing we really need to hear from Joey except he's very happy and life is good. That'll be 30 minutes after the final gun. Raiderland Rewind will come your way. If you missed anything during the week, go back and check out what we did. You can still comment. It's not a message board, but we always appreciate your comments. Yesterday, talking about the most Texan thing you have done. Over underrated running backs all time on Thursday. And then the What If Wednesday. If you missed that, go back. If you want a history lesson on how the United Spirit Arena came to be built, I said Spirit Arena, you know. Go check out that video. Something to do before kickoff. Tech's last time to play against Mike Gundy? I think so. I think it's definitely the last time to play in Stillwater against Gundy. That maybe he somehow survives one more year. I don't think he likes coaching college football right now. I think he's Jay Wright on a football sideline. That's who I think he is. Without, of course, the championships. But it's Stillwater. What are you going to do? 31-23. Let's see how close I get. I look forward to seeing everybody back. Enjoy the replay people. We thank all the replay people. It's always enjoyable to jump in, even on a Saturday. I'm going to town. We'll see you in a little.